Hey guys, Jim from Import Image Racing, and today we're going to be installing hella horns on our 2022 to present Subaru WRX. It's time to move B-word and get out the way. Beep beep. That's right, hella horns are back, and with help from our friends at Noble, we have a plug-and-play solution including a bracket and plug-and-play harness to get these onto the car. Everything that you see on the table can either be purchased separately or as a bundle, including a pair of hella horns, the Noble horn bracket, and plug-and-play Noble harness. Installation of our horn kit today can be performed using simple hand tools such as a 10, 12, and 13 millimeter socket, 12 millimeter wrench, a pick and panel popper, or a flathead screwdriver. The first step is to remove the bumper, so let's disconnect the battery and get started. To remove the bumper, we're going to start by removing our 10 millimeter hardware and using our flathead screwdriver or panel popper to remove the plastic clips. Then remove the 2 fender push pins per side. Next, remove the 8 plastic push pins underneath the vehicle. With all of the push pins removed, we're going to grab our outer fender and pull it to dislodge it from the clips. When removing the bumper, if your car is equipped with factory fog lights, be sure to disconnect them before removing the entire bumper skin. With a 12 millimeter socket or a wrench, remove this 12 millimeter nut in the center. Now let's take a second to talk about our Noble bracket. You can actually fit this one of 2 ways. Standard cars won't have this X-brace, and there's going to be 2 holes. One hole will go right in the center where our dowel is, and then our second hole, there's actually a provided piece of hardware that can go in here, tighten up, and it helps hold this whole bracket straight. But in our case, we have a Noble X-brace, so this bracket still works with the X-brace. The only thing is, we have to flip the bracket around so that that hole is now facing the driver's side so that our horns can fit. For more difficult installations when you have a bracket in the way, we're going to preload our horns onto the bracket first, then install the whole assembly onto the car. With our horns laid out on the table, we're going to go ahead and remove our 2 13 millimeter nuts, and we're going to place our bracket onto the horns. Now the way I like to do this is make sure the prongs for our harnesses are facing far left and far right. Then we can tighten our 13 millimeter nuts down and attach the harness. Now we're going to install our Noble plug-and-play harness, and that is pretty simple because we have 2 short leads and 2 long leads. And since polarity is not going to matter on either one of these horns, we can just go ahead and put 1 long lead, 2 long lead, 1 short lead, 1 short lead. For the sake of good installation, I'm going to take 2 zip ties and zip tie the harness to the bracket just because I don't like messy wires. With our horns and harness pre-installed onto the bracket, let's install our entire assembly onto the vehicle. Since we have our bracket flipped to allow space for our horns and the X-brace, we can't use our alignment hole in hardware, so we're going to have to kind of eye this up for level and then tighten it down with our 12 millimeter wrench. With our plug-and-play harness, we're going to run the lead on top of our crash bar and under our headlight onto the passenger side, and we're going to locate our passenger side horn. Once you've located the horn, press this tab to release the power wire to the horn. Next, you're going to want to remove this 12 millimeter bolt and then the entire horn assembly. Then we're going to take our power lead from our horns and connect it to our harness. Then we're going to take our ground wire and we're going to attach it to the body. But because there's paint here, we're going to take a fine file and we're going to get rid of some of that surface paint for a better connection. Now before we put everything back together, we're going to reconnect the battery and test for function before we get the bumper cover back on. Definitely working. Finally, we can reinstall the bumper and we're good to go. So there it is, hella horns for your brand new 2022 and up Subaru WRX. For more parts just like this, plus thousands more, be sure to hit up importimageracing.com for the best deals on the web and in the world, and we'll catch you on the next one. out.